All right, you beautiful bastions of freedom, time to get in here. It is the Friday night live stream, and oh, do I have the tea to spill for you tonight. If you guys don't like this episode, check your pulse. You actually might be dead. I would be seriously concerned for the livelihood of your, heart and stuff, because this is going to make you smile. Again, if it doesn't, I don't know what to do. Because we are about to walk through the biggest backfire, scrappy little undercutting Dems versus lefties, along with some other incredible things. This video is going to be a good one, so make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Guys, we have got to talk about some stuff, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think over here in the chat and the comments as we get into this. And of course, guys, the more you engage, the more you jump into the chat, the comments, the emojis, everything, the more it tells that notification bell to get up off his ass, because he's a lazy bastard in his mom's basement with Dorito crumbs all over his chest, watching reruns of Hercules from the 90s. No one likes him, so the more you do, the more he'll get a job and get out of his mom's basement. So thank you guys for that in advance. Of course, you guys are all deputized in order to defend the chat, because those pesky lefties, sometimes we have some loyal lefties that get in here and they just... they mean well. They do mean well, I think, sometimes, kind of. But you guys are there to defend the sanctity and the honor of the chat. We've got enough people here, so let's dive right in, because the early viewer always gets the best appetizer, because on this freedom train, saving the country together requires pleasure up front, make you a little happy, make you a little bit smile, get the momentum going. Here we go. How about a dish of crazy to wrap up your Friday? Well, it turns out that there's no shortage of crazy up in New Jersey, because the state representative, Katie Brennan, Democrat, I know, you're going to be shocked in a second what she says. Wow. Is sponsoring a bill called the F-ICE Act, which would allow individuals to, quote, sue the hell out of ICE for enforcing immigration law. How do you expect this to play out? And I'll tell you what this really is in a second. But first, let's just enjoy the genius that is the Democrat mind, okay? Let's get into this. Hey, watch this. Watch this.
We've got a package of bills, and one has a spicy name, but it's a very serious concept. So it's fight unlawful conduct and keep individuals and communities empowered, aka fuck ICE. But what it really is
I'm sorry. We're going to do a little ad hoc. We're going to do a little bit of an audible. Did you hear that acronym? I mean, like, you guys know they like to name these bills cute little things to make them pass, right? Like a big statement, like, a good example of the conservative style of this would be like the SAVE Act. It's so nice. Or you could do the Patriot Act. They put all these nice little fluffy names on them to give you guys like a little bit of like, ooh, it sounds nice. This one, they just went backwards. Apparently, they just went with, how do we say F-ICE? And then they made an acronym to fill it in. Let's revisit that. Hold on a second. I want to hear exactly what it means.
we've got a package of bills, and one has a spicy name, but it's a very serious concept. So it's fight unlawful conduct and keep individuals and communities empowered, aka fuck ICE. But what it really is clarifying the route of civil action so that you can sue ICE, because right now it's really hard to hold them accountable or to press any criminal charges despite all of their unlawful conduct. And so that's what it is. It's like, no, we're gonna sue the hell out of them if we can. We've got a package of...
Okay. Y'all, I need you, this is a clip it warning. I need you to clip this. I need you to send this video out. I need you to take a recording of this. I need you to put it everywhere, because what I'm about to tell you is the underlying secret sauce that you need to be aware of. It's completely free. Send it, share it, like it. Here we go. We're going to go big screen for this. You guys know, and let me hear in the chat if you remember me saying this, is the biggest advocates in the 2A space and the big Second Amendment fighters that are happening, that have been fighting for decades, are going to be the biggest warriors coming out of this for the general culture and the general country. And the reason that I always say that is because they use the exact same tactics that you're seeing in the broad-based politic, and they've been doing it to the gun world and the Second Amendment space for decades now. And here's the case in point. Remember what she just said? And my 2A people in the crowd are going to be connecting these dots in a second. You remember what she just said? We're going to open up civil options and civil liability and being able to sue the federal government for doing these things, because even though it's a federal law and everything is, of course, obliged to, or excuse me, forced to enforce federal law, that doesn't mean we can't sue them. Okay. That's what they're doing over here in the ICE realm, immigration. Let me take you over here in case you're not aware of what they do in the gun world. In the gun world, And I'm an expert in this part of the field. So that's why I draw these correlations. That's why this is so important. I need you to remember this. In the gun world, if you're not familiar, what they do is they say, well, we can't sue manufacturers because, criminals use their guns for criminal activity. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up civil liability, and then we're just going to bankrupt the companies. Does this sound at all familiar? Almost like it's an orchestrated plan? They do it over here with the gun world. They see what works as like a testing tube. And then they go over here into immigration. And all of a sudden, the F-ICE law is coming up. Isn't that odd and weird and strange? I know. I mean, like, for them to come up with those things all on their own, it's crazy. And by the way, guys, activate. We've got a loyal lefty over here in the copy-paste mode. So you guys do what you do. I enjoy watching it happen while I'm still on this side of the camera. Deputies deploy. Okay, here we go. Let's keep on trucking. That was a very important point. Please do not miss that. Back to the thing that we do. Oh, this little copy paster is going to love this part. President Trump, Obama, Bush approval on March 5th, second year, second term. Oh my God, would you look at that? Donald Trump is kicking butt. That's almost like these people on the copy and the paste over here in the chat, which is only furthering the stream and increasing the engagement. Thanks, by the way. It's almost like they just don't want you to know that. That is so weird. I tell you what, wonders never cease, do they? It is a cold day in hell. Anyway, speaking of something else that's going to get your creative juices flowing, if you guys have ever seen Tombstone, this might be the best use of AI I've ever seen in my entire life. I want to hear you in the chats and the comments on this one because they recreated the Huckleberry scene with the Ayatollah and Donald Trump. Get ready. Greatness is about to ensue. Watch this.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your Huckleberry.
You look like somebody just walked over your grave. We started a game we never got to finish. Play for blood, remember?
I was just fooling about.
I wasn't.
Say when.
All right, you get the idea, but I can't show you the rest of the clip because, I'll get in trouble. How good is that? The answer is amazing. That is how you use AI. Good Lord, phenomenal. I'll be your Huckleberry. Good Lord. If you know, you know. And guys, we are about to get into the spiciest part of this episode. So if you thought you were having fun before, get ready, people. All right. I'm going to jump right over. You notice how I mentioned something about a cold day in hell and ice freeze or hell freezing over multiple times? The shirt that I'm wearing is our actual ice froze over shirt. Hell's Parkas. This is the front. We just opened it up. We're selling parkas in hell. It's so cold. Things are happening so randomly that we'd never expect. Hell's Parka, established 2025. Guys, get you one of these shirts. You can look good while you are immediately slapping one of the copy pasters right directly in the lower back. That really sensitive part, every time. That's what happens when you wear one of these shirts. It's amazing. It's incredible. Link in the description box below. Of course, members get a discount of the website. The whole site member gets a discount, and then you also get free shipping on anything over $50. You can not only look great, you can also be part of Hell's Parkas, because when hell freezes over, we are ready, and that is how we correlate these pesky lefties with funding the channel. So there's a link in the description box below. I cannot wait to see you guys over there. The first in, first out, and this is a limited time design, so guys, do not miss the opportunity. And now we keep on trucking, because that is your chance. Oh my goodness gracious, y'all, we are in spicy land tonight. Hey, Democrats, get ready, because here comes Kamala. She's got her Caesar salads and word salads and all of her accoutrement, because she's going to be the nominee. Harris, 33%, according to Democratic presidential polling. Newsom, trucking in there at 28%, and this is from the Manhattan Institute, released today. We're going to get a second helping of Kamala Harris word salad. I hope you're ready for some veggies. Bring the Caesar, because it's going to happen. All right, let's keep on trucking. I got a few more things for you. Guys, I tell you what, it is so weird. They are like addicted to losing. Because, you got that whole thing. It's going to be these two battling it out. And the guy on the right is going to be like, I mean, I can't really say anything about her, about the fact that she lost the popular vote, she lost all the swing states, she lost the presidency, she lost the House, she lost the Senate, she lost all the governorships, she lost all the legislature at the state level. But I can't really say anything because it's her turn and she's a POC and she is the woman in the moment, you know. So that's going to be fun to watch. Then meanwhile, Kamala Harris has got to navigate how all of Gavin Newsom's policies make everything suck for California, how he's extremely universally disliked, and then also not hit her policies because they're the same. Man, this is going to be fun. We're going to have hair gel and word salad together on the same plate. It's going to be gross, but we're going to cover all of it. Guys, this is going to be a fun, fun time, and I'm going to be here with you, spreading freedom, defeating these pesky tyrants every single day along the way. And thank you for the chats, guys. We have got an amazing little party going on over here in the chat. Man, oh man. I got a super chat to get to. I know I just missed one, and I do feel bad about it, but the copy paster basically sent it out of the feed. Sunkissed Girl with 199 says nothing better than a petty American flag. And I've been sure they meant pretty American flag because America. All right, let's keep on trucking, guys. That was just the little Kamala Gavster thing. All right, here we go. All right, let's go. All right, people. This is why you came here. This is why you pay me the big bucks. And by the big bucks, I mean you pay me the likes and the shares. This is what's happening behind the scenes. And I want to lay this out very succinctly for you because we're going to spend 15 minutes talking about this. And this is beautiful. Because the dim civil war that is going on inside the Democratic Party it's not a mystery. It's not something that is just under the rug and no one's talking about it. No, the Democrats are offing the far left progressives. The Jasmine Crockett's. They're leaving James Talarico out to the dry. They're going after Graham Plattner in Maine. They're going after all the progressives that are going to impede them from winning the general. They are full on going after them. And this little idea that, oh my God, they're all on the same team and Democrats are just as far left as socialists and socialists love those middle of the road Democrats is a farce. Because they are using their influence, they are using their money, they are using their infrastructure, and they are using their political capital to politically off these people. Watch, I'm going to lay the whole thing out for you right now. Super chat from Lori, $4.99. The biggest Muslim community in Paterson, New Jersey, and mayor celebrated this fact in February. That is true. I saw that happen. I saw it happen. All right, here we go. Politico. Democrats, listen to the verbiage. Democrats remain skeptical about heavy investment to flip the Texas Senate seat. Wait a minute. I thought that was a lock. I was told, and I'm pretty sure you guys were as well, let me know in the comments if you remember this, I was told that Texas was a 100% lock and it was flipping blue and there was going to be a blue wave and there was like no question and no doubt about it. That's what I heard. That's what I was told. But maybe it's not? Huh. Super chat from a few letters. $5. This is not pay. Enjoy it anyway. Thank you. All right, here we go. Yeah, hate to see it. I mean, I love to see it, but they hate to see it. Flip the Texas Senate seat, largely because Cornyn, a moderate incumbent, let's just go with a rhino. Let's just call that what it is. Incumbent has decent odds of winning the GOP runoff against Paxton. Quote, no one's taking Texas seriously, one bundler said. Republicans hold a money edge. Oh my God. We talked about that, didn't we? I mean, like 4 weeks ago. I mean, to be fair, that was before we deposed the socialist in Venezuela, and also we unloaded hellfire on Iran. So a few things have been going on since then. But we did talk about it. Let me know in the chat if you remember this. Because all of a sudden, Republicans hold a money edge. That is so weird how this changes, isn't it? Almost like all the rhetoric that they put out before the elections, before the midterms, before they moderate is meant to generate money from the loyal limbing lefties, right? The latte liberals. It's almost like it's meant to trick them out of their money because they care so much, and then they moderate, and then they trick the crap out of you and all your money. All right. Democrat Senate consultant, quote, do you want to spend another $150 million for Texas or another $50 million to put Iowa or Montana or Nebraska in play? That's the Schumer calculate. Schumer? Y'all, wait a minute. That name reminds me of someone. I think I know who it is. That's Chuck Schumer, the Democrat who runs the Senate. Well, for the Democrats anyway, because they in the minority. So the Senate minority leader, Chuck Schumer, That is so weird. I mean, like, I'll tell you what. It is a hell of a thing. It is odd. Odd is definitely a word for it. All right, let's just keep on going. Maybe there's something else we're missing. Sorry, I had to fix something on my screen. Even if Democrats can't ultimately flip Texas in November, again, weird because I was told it's a lock. They believe Talarico's campaign and a potentially weakened Cornyn will force the GOP to spend cash to defend it, turning it into a money sinkhole for Republicans. Whoa! Hold on a second. Are you implying that you have pumped up all the Democrats in the blue Texas as a foil to Republicans to sink the money in Texas so that you can use your money in other states, of which, by the way, you will lose that strategy because you don't have any money? Is that what you... No. They wouldn't. They did. They are currently. All right, here's some more evidence of this. By the way, I got a super chat I think I just saw come through. Jeremy Wills with the $2 says, Kim's ultimatum to Cornyn today was priceless. Yeah, it was priceless. Made him look awesome. Made Cornyn look like a dill hole. Anyway, here's more evidence. You guys can tell me what you think in the comments below if I am over the target or if I am not. Good job, by the way, chasing away that pesky loyal lefty who is the copy-paste fiend. You guys win, yet again, deputies for the win. Dems aren't sure whether to actually spend big to flip Texas. Now, why not? It was going to be such a lock. It was going to be so easy. The Democrats had the blue wave. They have the blue wave. I mean, I was fully under the impression that this was an easy win because James Talarico is, basically like a combination of the perfect Democrat and a saltine cracker. So everyone loves that. Who doesn't love a lily white boy with great hair? I mean, I can say it because I am one. I mean, that's the rule. They made the rules. I didn't make them. I'm just saying because I can do it. National Democrats are worried the money it would take to compete in Texas would be better spent elsewhere. And I'm going to do a deep dive on this video for tomorrow, this article for tomorrow, and all of this is going to be a dedicated video. I'm just giving you the high level to kind of wet your whistle on it to continue with this point. But it's weird how all of a sudden the verbiage has changed. It used to be a 100% shoe-in, Texas is going blue. Now it's it's never going to really go blue, but we're sure going to make you spend a lot of money to defend it. It's weird how that language shifts, doesn't it? Again, lefties buy it full line and sinker, and they just get in the chat and they tell me that, they're going to take Texas and it's going to go blue. And meanwhile, 4 months before the election, everyone's like, nah, it's really not gonna, but it was fun to say it. I mean, God almighty, it's like we know these people. I swear to God, telling you what lefties are gonna think before lefties do it. All right, here we go. This, I am aghast. How could this be? A sarcasm button so far on. It's Friday night, we can do it. This is from Slate. Okay, Slate is a far left rag. All right, this is like Socialist Central. The only thing worse is the Jacobin. I mean, good Lord. Graham Plattner says Democrat leaders threatened to, quote, rip my life apart before he launched his Senate campaign. Well, now, why would they do that? Everyone loves socialism. That's so... you were told, that everyone loves socialism so much that they would be an obvious choice. And yet the Democrat leadership nationally threatened to rip his life apart, coming from Graham Plattner. That's weird. Why would they do that? Oh, because he's going to lose a seat they can normally get, and they're going to sink in millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to defend the leftist socialist who is going to most likely lose in a general, because he literally has Nazi tattoos on his chest. Trained with Antifa, trained with socialist militias. This guy is a whack job. But he's going to win because those Democratic primaries. The oyster farmer leading Maine's Democratic Senate primary race says the DSCC warned him not to run, the Democratic Senate Campaign Commission. Oh, well, that's very, very odd because I was told it was a lock and he was the perfect person. The oyster farmer leading Maine's Democratic Senate race says the DSC, he's winning anyway. That's the whole point, and I will dive into all of this. One thing, though, this won't be in there because I am sure as hell not joining Slate Plus. Absolutely not. Might have to do a little shenanigan to get that one. And then this one, Guys, MS Now all of a sudden says James Talarico is not the middle of the road candidate anymore. So after they painted Jasmine Crockett as the far left progressive and they ousted her butt like way, way hard, didn't even get a runoff, just pushed her straight to the side. Well, now MS Now comes out and says that James Talarico is a little too far left progressive for Texas. Why would they do that on the same day that this drops? And this drops. You guys seeing it? Because I'm showing you what they do. This is how they do it. Politico says it. Politico says it. Graham Plattner, they go after him. Slate says it. And now MS Now says, you know what? Let's let him talk. It's a 40-second clip. I'm going to do a super chat real quick so I don't forget it. Big Bear of PA, $2. I'm mad. I'm running out of popcorn. You should be. You're going to need a heck of a lot more because, honest to God, this is greatness. Here we go. Watch this.
But look, I think, Joe, the key thing here is that James Talarico was cast, and increasingly still is cast. I would say increasingly, but still is cast as a moderate. There is nothing. He's not a moderate. Yeah, he and Jasmine Crockett have basically the same positions on almost every issue. He's a populist. He's a progressive. He's pretty far to the left on a lot of issues, but mostly he's an outsider. And you could see that in the results yesterday, or on Tuesday, where he basically carried all of the counties that Bernie Sanders carried in the 2020 primary against Joe Biden. It was not a thing that you associate with particularly with being a moderate. But look, I think, Joe, the key thing here is that.
Guys, come here real quick. Everything's important. The reason that I focus on all the things, and this is a little bit more serious point here. The reason that I focus on all the things that I do and the amount of detail that I spend and time that we spend in this entire enterprise on all the details and the little minute movements that happen, the reason that we do it is because it ties together for a bigger macro picture. And what I'm showing you right now is what they're going to do. They are in the middle of doing it. We have been talking about them doing this for about 15 months now. You can jump in the chat and you can tell me if you remember us talking about this when it was first kind of like in the tea leaves. Now they're doing it. Seriously, telling lefties what they're going to do before they do it. They are very predictable creatures. All you got to do is learn to speak lefty, and then it's like, all right. Did you hear and fully comprehend what he just did? He just put on MS Now, on MSNBC, on MSDNC, he just put James Talarico into a far left box, and then he directly correlated him to Bernie Sanders. Now, what that does subconsciously on a media platform is it ties James Talarico to a far left progressive and Bernie Sanders. Because when you hear James Talarico and Bernie Sanders in the same sentence and the policies are the same and he's a progressive, all of a sudden he is now shifted to the left in your brain. He's now near Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders is a flagpole. You know where he is. That's what they're doing. They are actively doing this to James Talarico because if they keep him as a threat, then it's good because he's a foil for the Republicans for money in Texas. But if he gets too strong, they'll have to sink their own money in, and then they don't want to do that. This is the game that you're playing. James Talarico is being used as a foil for the Republicans. That is actively what's happening. They've gone from blue Texas 100% to, it's never going to happen, but it'd be cool to make them spend their money. You're watching it happen in real time. All right. Maybe there's some more evidence that is required. Let me know if I'm landing these planes, guys, because, look who it is. Jazzy herself. Listen to what Politico just said. Again, Politico is referenced a lot in my channel. The reason why is because that is a plugged-in Democrat established source. They float all their trial balloons through Politico, USA Today, the New York Times. All of them. These are the mainline sources that they all read and they communicate with each other and they float their trial balloons and they float their stupid ideas, all of it. Black Democratic strategists and lawmakers are frustrated that Crockett lost her primary, but not exactly surprised. What? Quote, for people who understand politics, Crockett literally had no ground game, said Texas State Representative Jolanda Jones. She added, the L is on her. Whoa. Okay, well, maybe I can click on this and see what happens. I'm in real time. There's the article. The L is on her. Black lawmakers and strategists dump on Crockett. She has been and has felt like a woman on an island, says one operative. Because they put her on the island. You have to understand what this whole thing was. They didn't want her to run for Senate the whole time because she was going to be an uncomfortable thorn in the side. Then she did. And then she started getting politically ostracized. No one was really rallying to her. You had Cardi B came out and supported her. Kamala Harris supported her for 10 seconds. And now Kamala Harris is right on the James Talarico train. I mean, the guy is Satan with a swoop. But there we go. You're looking at it happen. They are actively dropping carpet bombs, straight up Iranian style, on all the progressives, which is what I told you was going to happen. Because they are a threat to the Democrat power. You are actively seeing it. All right. Let's let me show you this real quick. Black Democratic strategists, lawmakers, and activists are frustrated that Texas Democrats rejected Jasmine Crockett as their Senate nominee Tuesday night, but they also saw it coming. That could have fooled me. They sure didn't act like they saw it coming. But anyway, I'm sure there's some other big underlying reason that they wouldn't do that, right? Yeah, it's because this part right here, they don't have a lot of money. They are outnumbered tremendously in money and fundraising. They are under the gun by about, I think it's like 1 to 8 ratio right now. That's what you're looking at. And honestly, I've got one more thing here for you that I want to run through. But I don't, you know what? We're 25 minutes in. That's way too short. We went through this first part. We're going to do this. All right, here we go. Before we get into this, if you're just now getting in, guys, if you want to support the channel, I am wearing this actual shirt, which is probably why you've been saying, man, he looks better than normal. And I mean, you're right. It's because this amazing Hell's Parka shirt that I am wearing, we opened up the Hell's Parka store. It's a grand opening when hell freezes over here because, my God, is it not freezing over in every 10 seconds. You got free shipping on anything over $50 every order. You got discounts for the site members, which you can support the channel even further. And then, of course, it's a limited time design, which is not available all the time. This is going to be here for a couple more days, and then it's finito. I can't keep it up forever because that is the arrangement I have with the organization who provides them, which is Nine Line Apparel. So, all funded by veterans, all great company. Ship everything out as the orders are complete. Let's get it going. All right, here we go. And there's a link in the description, by the way. Katie Couric, of all people, hits Gavin Newsom with brutal California stats. Well, that I've got to see. And so do you, by the way. Hold on a second. Check this out. Javier Vasquez with a $1.99 super chat. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. I've got another super chat right over here. I'm trying my best not to miss these. Fred Samuel with a $5 super chat. Democrats are spending a fortune in North Carolina pushing Cooper, and we can't allow him to have a chance. North Carolina is one of the ones that's on the fence. I'll be honest with you. North Carolina is the one that I'm actually the most concerned about when I look at the Senate map. Just candidly. Now, there's a whole lot more money on the Republican side, which generically usually makes the person win, but you're looking at about a 94% chance of winning if you have more money spent. Republicans have 8 times the amount of money. And I will do another update on that probably this weekend. Lots of content coming. But anyway, let's get into this. There's so much coming around everywhere. It's ridiculous. Watch this.
The highest poverty rate, tied with Louisiana, the highest unemployment, and as Nick Kristof of the New York Times recently wrote, Mississippi schools outperform California schools, especially for poor kids. Now, people see that or hear that or read that, and they're like, no thanks, California. No thanks, Gavin Newsom. We're good.
Yeah. Well, the poverty rate is, you're talking about the supplemental poverty rate. Our poverty rate's about average. And we're right up there with Florida, Louisiana, and others with a supplemental poverty rate, which has been the case for 40 years. And the original sin there is housing, which has been a problem in California since Ronald Reagan left office as governor. And we simply have a supply-demand imbalance, and we have zoning policies and NIMBYism that have been legendary. And we've finally broken through with some of the most progressive housing reforms in U.S. history, our biggest.
And yet the problem persists, dum-dum. This is the whole point. This guy can try to talk his way out of anything, but everyone in their right mind knows that people are flocking blue cities and states because of these types of reasons and policies. We have a supply-demand imbalance. Well, why don't you build more houses? Oh, because of all the climate legislation and environmental legislation and all the corruption and the red tape and all the bureaucracy that you've put in place because of, quote, liberalism. Progressivism. This is the whole point. You uber tax the rich, you uber tax everybody, you uber tax the middle class who would buy the land, but it's too expensive. And then when it is actually viable to buy, then it costs even more than anywhere else because there's so many fees, fines, taxes, and red tape. It's not difficult. You have insanely difficult policies for any type of growth. You're not a pro-growth state, and yet people still somehow move forward in California. Imagine if you had actual, American policies. But anyway, let's listen to him spin this some more because you can't get around this. This is why he's going to lose the general Democrat nomination. Watch.
Critics like Ezra Klein would even acknowledge that progress in that respect. As it relates to our schools, we've seen some of the fastest improvement since 2011 till today as it relates to achievement and reading scores and test scores that we just announced. In every category, socioeconomic and grade, we saw progress, particularly here, interesting, at LA Unified School District. As it relates to Mississippi, it's interesting, it's well established. They hold people back in third grade. And so they have this sort of interesting, their scores tend to be a little bit inflated because of some of those policies that are not necessarily standard policies that everyone wants to promote across the country.
Wait, hold on. Look, come here. So your big play here, and your big excuse and reason for why California's rates are lower than Mississippi's, I'm Southern, I can say it, whoa. The reason why is because they hold kids back when they're not ready to move forward. Isn't that a good thing? Rather than pushing a child through into something that they're not ready for, they get another year so that they are properly prepared to move forward in the school system and actually excel. But instead, in California, the idea is, well, you're not holding people back. That'd be offensive. So you're just going to push them through. And even though they can't read and they can't do math and they can't do anything, which would help their whole lives, that's the move, huh? But holding people back is mean, and it inflates. No, it doesn't. It makes children ready, which makes them have higher rates. This is not difficult. But don't worry, Hair Joe Monster is going to tell you something else. The sky's purple.
And by the way, you can compare and contrast California to Mississippi. You could compare and contrast many other states to Mississippi in terms of that one data point. So you want to be, I think, a little bit more reflective of a broader sample set. But a lot of progress has been made in California's education policy. Community schools, after school for all, summer school for all. We were the first to do 2 free school meals. And of course, we created a brand new grade preschool for all. We also did the first savings accounts. Everyone's talking about Trump's savings accounts 6 years ago, 5. I did it. We have 5.5 million kids, all our kindergartners. We did a $1.9 billion appropriation to create these college savings accounts, these career accounts, in addition to these baby bonds that we're doing, all in an effort to try to deal with financial literacy, connect the dots in terms of wealth disparity, not just income disparities, and
Really? And I'm going to leave it there because I'm already bored. And if I'm bored, God knows you guys are. This is like my sports. I mean, that part's not. That's like the equivalent of like a tennis match. But really, so you're going to highlight income disparities and wealth disparities. Okay, so you're just propagandizing children about socialist ideals between wealth, haves, and have-nots. Wow, where does that sound familiar? Almost like it's proletariat versus bourgeoisie. I mean, like, come on. This is like straight up Marxist. Anyway, the whole point here, guys, as we go through this entire episode that we're doing, first of all, that first half was fire. I really enjoyed that. I hope you guys did too. But you've got the contest between Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris. You've got the Democrats offing the progressives actively. And there's this little fight that's going on inside the Democrat Party, which is getting louder and louder and louder, and the ripples are starting to show through a lot higher on the surface. Like, it's becoming hard to ignore now. And then at the very end, you've got this guy explaining why his literacy rates are lower than Mississippi, and some sort of gobbledygook for these different reasons. Insert socialism, insert progressivism, it's housing, it's this. It's always excuses. It always comes back to exactly what it is. No one wants someone from California because California sucks in certain areas, but my God, the weather's amazing. Anyway, listen, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed every second of it. Thank you so much, Javier Vasquez, for the $1.99 super chat. I think I actually have a 19. Hold on a second. I got to get that one. I missed this one. I apologize. David Hughes with a 1999. Look it up. Gavin Newsom was taught everything he knows by Klaus Schwab, who is the son of Hitler's top generals, former president of the World Economic Forum. You will own nothing and be happy. Yes, that's actually very true. David Hughes, good job knowing your history. That is correct. Klaus Schwab was a very creepy dude, and he's no longer in charge of the World Economic Forum. He absolutely was involved in a lot of the far left stuff. I was unaware that he was part of Hitler's top general's offspring, but I do know he was a very not good dude. But great super chat. Listen, I love each and every one of you just the right amount. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I'm telling you, we're over the target on some stuff. And if you'd like to support the channel, by all means, link in the description box below. Hell's Parkas, you're going to see a lot more of different designs, but you will not be able to get this design forever. It's a limited time. So make sure you check that out in the description box below. Look great while you kick lefties in the shins. And I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.